Last game of the day just started, and look at this amazing plane. Said no one ever. Very far south, it's going to be Quarry, and between Quarry and Melter Power, and I'm interested to see a team like Wizards. They like to go far north, unless if they jumped out already, because I can't see it here, and went east coast to get vehicles. I wonder where they will go. And for those of you guys out there in the chat who are wondering, top 6 are the teams that were making their way through. So we saw Art of War off of that good 4th place finish off there. They made it into top 8, which is normally enough in other tournaments that we like to cast. But this time around, it is going to be top 6 that is going to be the break-off point. And we see how close it is still. 4 more games to be played tomorrow. Can we get Fs in the chat for a clip, please? Someone might want to clip that. I hope you have another vehicle nearby, buddy. In any case, Circle goes hard west, and that's just even more so why he needs that vehicle. I love it when observers catch this. It's just it's small things that don't matter too much in the overall picture, because sure, teammates can just pick him up and stuff. It's just amazing when you like casually roll over to a guy looting, and then doink, something like that happens, and you just know that the player is like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, please tell me the observers didn't just watch this. But of course, we have eyes everywhere, and we will see those things very often. It's amazing. I love it. Thank you so much, production team from StarLadder, for spotting out that one. Temporary name. They have managed to take control of Primorsk. And yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty straightforward looting phase for them from down here. They have the circle over towards them as well. We've seen some crazy West Coast endings recently. Sure, not in this tournament, but we had one in the PEL Pro League. I believe it was on day 3. Where it just kept shifting west. It was crazy shifts out towards the west. It was really interesting coming in there. So who knows? This might be one more of them. Could of course go anywhere, but it's always interesting to see these little more confrontacious circles. Now we have had I mean, at least the initial circles today have been pretty straightforward, rather center, but then we have had some issues with teams trying to make it either north or south of the river, and that has been the main kind of, at least from a neutral perspective or objective perspective, that has been one of the main issues with teams. Like the river has been the main thing there, but who knows, maybe these hard shifts to either side could become a thing for the final game. For those of you guys who are new to what's going on here, all of these teams that we're seeing, they're playing for a spot in PEL Contenders. And what is that, you might ask? Well, that is the division just below the PEL Pro League, or PEL Europe, PUBG Europe League, as it actually stands for. And that is the amazing tournament that is going on in Berlin. That will be that is playing every weekend. It has its final weekend coming up to this one, so do make sure to watch that. And of course, the top teams there will be making it to the global event that is coming in here in the middle of the month as well. So plenty. I mean, if you're a guy that is into competitive PUBG, I'm just telling you right now, there's so much competitive PUBG going on, and all regions are playing. I mean, sure, you might not understand what Chinese casters are talking about, but there's, I mean, for me, I mean, I love watching. I love at least trying to watch as much international PUBG as possible, and there's a ton of things you can catch from other leagues. So maybe if you're an upcoming team that is saying, oh, we cannot just copy all these other teams, we're just doing what they do, who knows? Watch a team from Taiwan. Maybe they do something crazy and like, how can that ever work? But it's working, and then try and see if it works in the European league as well. Who knows? Maybe we could combine the metas and make one unified way of playing the game. Because I can tell you for sure that the Koreans, the Chinese, the Taiwanese, the Japanese, they play this game pretty different from how it's going on in the meta that we're used to seeing, at least. So always good to have a wide perspective on things. The broader your vision is, the more you can, of course, sort of pick up on 4AK had a good day to finish off yesterday. 2 finishing games, but then today it hasn't really been going their way in the same sense. Personal Courage, though, they started off the day with 2 wins, pretty impressive coming in there. Now they're sitting in 2nd place, so they have a good chance to get something going here in the final game too. Of course, it's not guaranteed. It's still really close, still extremely close, and all the teams that are sitting in the top right now could still fall off in the next 5 games, which will determine who will be making it into the Pro League, or into the Contenders, sorry. Abo getting his rotation game going. I feel bad for Oshchek. They had a good thing going yesterday, but today has just not been their day at all. They had some really nice rotations yesterday. They played it extremely wisely, but yeah, today has just kind of been their downside, and that's the reason why they're currently sitting in the last place. But then again, I mean, we talked about it as well before. These teams are so close right now. We saw how Art of War went from, I believe, 13th up to 8th off of that 4th place game there previously. So these teams, they're really close together. Of course, it is only, and I say only, but it is only 12 games to play. And when we see teams like Personal Courage and Wizards go out and get multiple wins, then these other teams will be so much closer. Zero long range taps coming over towards the temporary name team. You can write in the chat if you want to come up with a name for a temporary name. Maybe they'll take one of their ideas. Meet your makers, they're making the rotation on in. Safe rotation, by the way. Oh, can Intense bait Mikhailovic over? Thank God for Mikhailovic to jump off there, but unthank God that he jumps off right outside of the comp. I thought he was gonna park. Unthank God. That's a new one. Look at the amount of rotation damage coming in. I mean, that is what you have happen when you have a circle that shifts so hard to one side. That is exactly what you have happen when you jump to one side. Everybody forced to make these rough rotations, and believe me, people will go down. We haven't really lost anyone so far, but this one could be a vehicle just about to explode. We see Personal Courage making their way in here as well. So many targets for the Aurora team to shoot down towards, but seems like nobody's gone down so far. Kofas though and company, they're making their way in towards their opponents. Now we see rotations on boat coming into 4AK. They're opted to go the naval direction, and they'll make their way in on the boats there. Apo, ooh, down to just 19 HP, forced back inside the house. Has 1 first aid to work with, and not even safe inside the circle just yet. So that's going to be a tough rotation for them to make it way in. I love the suggestions you guys are coming with, by the way. All the suggestions coming in for team names, they're great. I love them. Kofas taken down. Personal Courage under fire early on here. Phosphid throwing a smoke down, wants to get the rest, of course, but it's going to be a risky play, because even though he has a tree for cover, those smokes are only going to be visual cover, of course. And you can see how all of Persis are tapping up towards them. Persis, they like to play from this position. They've been here many times before, and you can see that tree, it's only getting smaller and smaller. Those bullets are, or should be at least, kind of destroying the tree, but that's of course not quite the case. Circle, west, south, north, east. Where are we going? Center. Okay, pretty straightforward circle. Wizards actually maneuvering. We saw that rather quickly there. Wizards are going down all the way to Military Island. That's interesting. Not something I would expect to see for them. But they're of course a little outside the comfort zone. They had to go out east because the circle didn't allow for them to go all the way up north. And well, now they have to figure out how to rotate over Military. And as you can see here, there's so many teams around there. Nobody holding the bridge, fortunately, because as we saw, 4AK, they did decide to go around north. So so no real issues for them in that regard. No issues when it comes to them making their way over the top. Golby spinning around with his vehicle, trying to stay put here. See them all trying to make their rotations on in. There's so many shots being fired out here in the open. It's a horrible, horrible area to be forced to run around in. And right now at least, they're trying to stay put. They're trying to stay put, trying to get into some sort of compound. And well, I mean, for at least for Golby, lives with this scare. But we have personal courage completely caught out by this shag out there. It's not the most optimal position to be in. Now Circle will once again start closing in, and the struggle with this area of the map is, of course, as you can see as well, there are not a lot of areas to really play from. Swarm, they have gone over, and this could be an issue for Wizards should they want to cross over from here. Wizards haven't really left they haven't left the military island yet, I believe. Can't really see it, but I think they're still trying to cross that military island over towards the western bridge. And if Swarm are up, let's stick around here for much longer. That could become an issue for them. Riddle, they're now going to be the 5th or 6th or 7th team making their way into the open here. And there's so many people up here. But what is also happening, and you can see it here as well, Ashtek, I mean, you saw one player, Outlaw I believe it was, he has practically no ammo left. Oh, Handy bro, that's a rough place to have your vehicle stop. Now we see one guy reversing up the hill. Aaliyah gets the knock. It's gonna be Saga to get the finish up on towards Hennibro. Yorkdale, 3-wheel buggy trying to stay alive. They're under a lot of pressure. They know they have opponents nearby. Now the 2 remaining players from Ashtek Warriors are coming down to help here. Clip, spotting one in the house. Abo. Ooh, that nade, if it goes over the house, could be right on the money. It bounces over, but no damage done. Interesting smoke sounds coming in there. Arsenally tries to spot him out, and again, I mean, Ashtek, they've been shooting at so many vehicles coming in through here. So many cars have been traversing through here, and Ashtek has been shooting at all of them, and they barely have any ammo left at this point. Arsenally goes down. In a position to be rest for sure, but look at this. Cerebro Gaming, they're coming in from behind. They could potentially third party on this. Yep, there you go. Black takes out one player. Outlaw, ooh, almost makes it in, but Clip says, no, you don't. No, you don't. I will take you with me as well. So 2 gone down for Ashtek Warriors. They're already in last place, and now Dictator is down to low HP, has to make the run back. Clip is pushing on it. They know they hit him a couple of times. They saw the blood. They know that he is low, and they need to get off a hero play here. I mean, that would be Dictator. Needs to pull off a hero play here. Gets the knock on the first one. Doesn't get down number 2, though. He does manage to finish off Clip, though. Not sure exactly why Yorkdale wouldn't push around faster, trying to finish him off, but one flash does come in the end of things. And Black Zero, they saw this. They've seen all the knocks. They've seen all the damage being done. And they're saying, you know what? We might as well just third party on this. We might as well just try and see if we can get in here and do some damage towards these guys that are already fighting. We're still 4 guys up. Could be the smarter thing to do. Mini out on the side. He gets knocked off immediately. Sinsen with the sniper takes him down and out. At least down. Not out just yet. IPG forced to figure. Does he want to go back to get the rest up now? Or are you trying to deal the damage still towards these teams? It's a 2v2v4. Make that a 2v2v3, because IPG probably won't get rest here, and we still have Mini outside. So what was a good idea in third partying becomes one hell of a tough break for all of these guys, really. Not at all the type of situation you want to be in. Now, sure, Mini is only first knock, so he could get back up, but I think that was a nade thrown out there at some point as well. Now, Meet Jamaica's there driving down by the beach as well. Temporary name on the west coast. Trying to prevent them from being able to make their way on in, but you can see if they manage to get around here, which it seems like they will, they're going to be in a position to potentially hold off temporary name. They could be in a position to hold them off. They got the vehicles around. They got into safety. That vehicle will be blown off eventually. Golby got knocked by Broken there as well, so that's going to be one more fight happening up and around the area of the gas station. And then back to this one, triple duos. It's the end game of a duo situation with teams just tapping away at each other. Seems to me like one player from Art of War didn't manage to connect to the last game here, unfortunately. And now Nixty's full-on fight against Ghost Legion takes down 2. Submarine goes down as well. That's the 3rd. Important kills coming in for Ronnie Cray, and 4AK. They got one more player to deal with, but he's not around here as far as I can see. And back to the duos. So many fights happening right now. This is what happens when you're so far out in the open. And he gets the knock once again onto yet another LXG play. It was Quizzy going down before, and this time around is Sneaky Slayer and Tony. Holy cow, that's a headshot. Through the window, nice little off angle, but spots him out immediately. Cerebro realizing that it ain't worth trying to stick around up here too much longer. They're in the blue, and once that circle connects, it's gonna be so much harder to fight out here. We are, of course, talking about the circle 4, phase 4, kind of. You cannot do anything anymore up here. And look at this circle now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams out of 16. Half the teams are not even inside the circle. And believe me, I think 7 of them were either south or east of the current one, of the new one, I mean. There's nothing to take up here. I think everyone at this point is fighting for a few shacks. If not, then it's a forest down south. And if you're a team that is sitting up north, you have to be aware of this. You have to be aware of the fact that this is what the teams are going to be fighting for. So if you're sitting down there and you want to stick around, well, you better be ready for a fight, because nobody's going to run out into that field and say, oh, let's just chill down here. That will not be an option for anyone at this point in the game. So if you're sitting in the forest on the south side of the island, you better be prepared to start shooting, because you will have double, triple, and quadruple teams fighting on towards you, that's for sure. Ooh, the bike just exactly survived that one. Chrissy goes down, Black goes down as well. That's gonna be Cerebro out. They tried to get down and get that third party going, but didn't work out in their favor. Now Wizards, having finally made their way out to the other side, they're in a pretty rough spot here as well. They need to make their way out and away, of course, from the bridge area itself. Riddle down and out. The old Dale taken out in the end there too. Outlaws goes down too. And touches, we just saw 7 different teams knocking each other. T-Bone, that's a pull-up, but that's also a pull down in the sense that you just got yourself knocked, unfortunately. I like the idea, but didn't really work out the way that he wanted it to. He tried to repeat. He tried to do what we saw last game with huge potential, but he just wasn't able to blow up the vehicle midair the same way they did. I like the idea, I like the attempt, but in the end the point was taken anyway. Oh, not yet, not yet. T-Bone isn't dead just yet. No knocks coming in so far, no finish offs coming in so far, but Tuck, we might see him here, and T-Bone should go down because of it. Mikhailovic outside the house, Tony inside. If they know that he's out there somewhere, Tony might just want to wait for his teammates to push up with him, spots him out, and gets the damage done right on the money. Great job coming in by Tony there, immediately realizing where he was and transfers over, gets down the spray. Good job taking him out. Oshtek taken out in the end there as well. Ooh, Sneaky taken out in the end there too. Memo stuck to the spray and got himself a finish off as well. And that's going to be out of war. I mean, they made it into 8th. If they could finish off the day number 2 in top 6, that would be amazing for them. Nixties and 4AK up against Meteor Makers now, trying to see if they can eliminate each other. They're both inside the circle, so they don't have to fight. But of course, with them sitting on top of each other, it's going to be a tough one to fight off. 2 knocked players from Meteor Makers so far. And Intense is on the other side of the road. You can see they were trying to cross. And 4 Angry Kids, they sat on the other side and said, you know what, we cannot sit here waiting. We need to start doing some damage if we want to be able to stay put here. O'Connell tries to hold off anyone pushing through, but he's on the wrong side of the house. Broken is going to be the one to take down Arrows. And now all of a sudden O'Connell is in a rough spot all by himself. Not a whole lot more he can do from that spot, but hope to rotate in late and have these other guys go before him. O'Connell does get one down low, but goes down in return, and Broken might be going down to the blue zone here as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get a first hit off in time. Nope, not going to happen. He goes down. So only one player left remaining for that team. Intense still alive, and if he can somehow get over and not only get 1 but 2 knocks in here, that would be absolutely insane. If you can rest 2 players off of this, because now we have teams coming in from the other side. We saw the nade coming up there as well. Silas is an off sort of a push position from his teammates, trying to go up and get some nades thrown. Wow, a double crate for 4AK. Literally getting 2 crates on top of each other. That is pretty fortunate for for them. Pretty damn fortunate situation. Temporary name down south. They're in a decent position to get some damage done. But what exactly can they pull off from here? 0 kills so far. There's still 32 players alive. Nemerith just tapping up through the smokes. Swapping over to the 3x, a bit easier to control when you start shooting fast. And somehow Meteor Makers were actually alive actually allowed, I guess you can say, to push around that side and get the reses back up. Pretty damn fortunate. Now, though, up north, we see Vancouver. Still 4 guys alive. 0 kills, though. And they have to commit to one sort of decision as well. What the hell is this type of push? Well, you know what? It worked. I'm not even going to say anything. It worked out in the end. Persis taking 2 casualties there. Troas getting himself a double nade, finishes off one more of them there. They tried to make the push off from the compound, and Aurora might want to focus on what's happening behind them rather than looking inside the circle. I know they have to push on in, but there's a team coming in from behind that could pose a threat to them sooner than any team that's outside the circle. Raka's gone down. Swarm finally eliminated there as well as Tuck goes down and Ten secures himself that kill. Major Makers, they've been doing well, and again, they want to get themselves back into the Pro League as well. They were the team to skip stage 1 of this one. They were the team to jump on in to directly to stage 2, as they got 11th place in their group in Contenders in the group stages. But they of course want to go back in there and say, you know what, we deserve this spot. We can do this. We can do better. Personal courage by themselves. Chilling inside the compound. Inside the compound, it's a shack, Toby. It's not a compound. Just a little shack where they're chilling and not really doing a whole lot. Andy gets a nade finish up onto Denethor. Ronnie goes down as well. It's going to be the hand of Dees. And now Silas pushes up too. Temporary name. They're going to full on aggress on this. And it's only Northwest on his feet now. But there are people on multiple sides. Look at the southeast down here. So many players around this area of the map. 11 forced out in the blue. Goes back in. And Silas with the double. Securing themselves the finish off. Not only to meet your makers. But also taking out 4 aggregates in the process of that. 6 kills coming in. Crazy fast. And it's going to be, I believe, the temporary name team to pick up all those skills. So really impressive play coming in there. And Aurora as well. Good job from the guys on that team. Mirmore gets inside the compound despite being knocked. Should be able to get rest up here. Silas taking out 1 player. Ooh, still have the bend around the corner, and he spots him out immediately. Can't really get the flush on towards him immediately. Gets him down, tries to trade it up, but not gonna happen. Silas is there, and they had 0 kills just before. All of a sudden, with still 3 guys alive, they have 7 kills in the matter of 1 circle shift. That is a ton of points to pick up for the temporary name team. Really impressive plays coming in from them. Art of War, 3 guys alive. I don't know if BenQ did connect to the server or if he died early and disconnected. I would assume that it's the first that happened, that he could not connect, and now we're down to just 3 teams alive. Searong, Denethor and Moon, just 3 guys on their team as well. But they have a pretty good position. They're inside the next circle and don't really have to move anywhere. The only team that's not really inside, well, I mean, you can see around here, where going each your direction. You might want to get out of that vehicle at some point soon, Kopes. I don't think it's going to allow for you to stay alive for that much longer. Nope, he gets knocked off of it as well. There are only so many angles you can hide yourself from, and he is going to get finished off here. For the Phosphor is going to be on his own for the remainder of this game, and he's on the far edge of the circle to Amorous, far up the hill. He is still alive, but goes down to the blue, and he will be finished off by Dees as well. Long range taps him away and down with the 6x scope. And Phosphor's still alive. I mean, he can stay put for here for a little while. The only issue is gonna be, as you guys know, the foliage. As you can see there, the foliage only renders so far out at such a distance, and Dees gets a good angle on towards him, takes him down, and 9 kills now for temporary. Really, really, really impressive. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Moon, that's a chest shot with a Kar 98, but well connected. He predicted him running into the right side, and he took him out in the process there. Good job. And immediately turns around to try and see if he can spot the guys that were shooting from up inside the forest. He's looking up in the direction. He knows there's somebody out there. Now the circle goes out towards Vanconas. I mean, nobody really gets the benefit of this circle. I guess you can say the only team that could somewhat benefit from it would be... I mean, okay, so there's 1 building left inside the circle. That's by Memo, the 1-story house. Oh, Cotton takes down Tony. Tony shot 3 times, but didn't manage to connect the second one, and that was unfortunately all it took for Cotton to take him down. And now Miramore and Test, they're out in the open, and they're just not in a position to really scout anything. They know that as soon as they try to peek up, they're in for a rough one. Tony spotted out, tries to see if they can get some extra flush points on towards him, and Cobham in the end will be the one to get the finish off there. So 3 points for Vinconas in total. Andy trying to push further forward, has spotted out Zero, but now Moon shoots down towards him as well, but Andy gets the spray transferring on towards him. Great job there. Caught down behind the tree now. Only has 1 teammate, I believe, remaining to help. Yep, Memo just up north. They have a chance here, and you can see that immediately, as soon as they realize the fight is happening inside the compound, we see Temporary Name make the push down with the vehicle. 3 guys in 1 vehicle. They have a smoke and not a whole lot more to work around. Smoke's thrown to the left. They don't know exactly where they're sitting, and they need to start landing some headshots if they want to have a chance here. They force Vinconas back inside. You can see these smokes. That's all the cover they're gonna have. They have 1 vehicle. It's parked off in the wrong angle, and it's not gonna grant them any cover up against Vinconas. Method, they take out 1 player. Moon is down and out. Zerong still alive. Ooh, that's a headshot. These shows how to probably tap off helmets. Pulled it off right there. Andy is there for the rest. Unfortunately, there are plenty of crates in and around here, so it should be possible to find a helmet somewhere. He's now spotted out in the open. Cotton trying to tap through the smoke. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. Pretty rough angle to have to look on through. He's tried to make the run around to the side. They know they have them inside the shack, and that's all they have to wait for, honestly, because we are both, I mean, Zerong and Art of War and Cobham, for that sake, they're all outside of nade range right now, so they can't really do anything in that regard. But all they have to do, I was gonna say, all they have to do is not over peek the shack until they have to go. And because of, well, I mean, I don't know if there's over peeking or just them spotting them out. They unfortunately lose 2 players, and that should be what is needed for Test and a Memo to make the run out. Memo get himself a headshot coming in there. Good job. Silas, they know he's down behind the vehicle. Lives through the explosion despite being prone right next to it. No questions. The circle's gonna start closing on in. This is gonna be a slow finish, guys. Unless if everyone gets finished off here. Cobham is knocked. He's not gonna be able to do a whole lot. Zerong is prone down here. Memo, has he seen him? He's trying to look over the top, but he can't really get the angle. There you go. Finish off comes in. And yet again, important games coming in from Art of War when they need them. They had a 4th place game last game, and now they're pulling off some good numbers here yet again. 3 teams remaining, and Andy and Memo have got themselves 2 guys alive. Cobham could try and crawl back, but of course that's most likely not going to happen. Tree for cover for Memo. Silas is in that smoke, and Memo is saying, if I just start shooting from one side to the other, who knows, maybe I'll get him down at some point. Far out, and he does go down in the end there as well. So that's going to be now a 2v2. Again, Cobham most likely not going to be rest here. Nope, ain't going to happen. He's down and out. And Amir Moore and Test is going to be a 2v2 against Andy again and Memo. Andy and Memo, they've been hitting some good shots in this game so far, but no helmet for Andy. It's going to be 1 bullet to the head, and he's down and out. And for Test and Amir Moore, how do you play this one? Now, smokes are being thrown. It seems... Yep, smokes are being thrown. Are they thrown to bait off the opponents, though? Are they thrown to get themselves into a better spot? Andy gets himself a headshot onto Test. Great connected shot. Gets the finish off there as well. And now that should be the call that the other guys should be somewhere nearby. But, of course, they don't know. And they have to play it ever so cautious. I mean, Moore could be the damage dealer, the difference maker to get this win. Andy, though, connects it to the chest. And that is all you need after the